Good morning, welcome to a morning review on Tuesday the 31st of March. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and we've sold off this morning. We've broken yesterday's and the previous day's lows, looking relatively weak at the moment. There's little in the way of support where we are until we get back down to really the 100 moving average on the 4 hourlies. We've broken through all the key moving averages. There's as I say, very little support wise below us at this juncture. Looking from where we are, I mean, having broken all the lows, it's really looking for retracements maybe to get short. Any change of direction would need to come with momentum. We've had the bearish cross of the 50 over the 200 on the 60-minute, which would again it remains relatively bearish, but really would be looking for retracements to continue this short pattern at the moment. That said, any reversals and a change of a full change of direction with momentum, I'd obviously be looking back for the longs, but at this juncture, very weak looking market. Pound dollar, well, really now we've started to move out of that range that we've been in for so long, but it's just really making another range probably at this juncture. Found support on the monthly S2. It's really now again I'm looking at this market, it's not particularly clear in direction. I'm considering in terms of, I mean, the direction's relatively clear in terms of possibly to the downside. I'm looking at any sort of break of this trend line, maybe to continue with the shorts. It may be easier than the euro in that respect. For the long side, well, again, we've got this sort of wedge pattern, so maybe look for the break of the upper side of that long that wedge, but again would need momentum with it to look for the longs. So at the moment, easiest route is to the downside on cable. Dollar yen. Dollar rallied yesterday in the end. Dollar yen rallied, ran into the daily 21. Seems to have quite a reaction to that at the moment this morning as it's run into that. Some indecision sort of candles sitting here at the moment, maybe pulling back some more. It has got some targets below the daily pivot sitting there as being one of them, but if all the other markets are effectively selling off against the dollar, if the dollar's gaining strength, I can only see this really pushing up and probably missing that daily pivot. The obvious target really then is the 120.52 area, which you see, that's easily in target. I'm just checking to see, so that would come in with that 4 hourly 100 MA, so would be an obvious target if it starts breaking to the upside there. Finally, the Aussie dollar sold off strongly again yesterday. It just carried on most of the day yesterday. It was very difficult to look for trying to get into any trades at all on the Aussie. It was just, you could have just sold it, but the risk obviously when you're just selling without a retrace is you just sold at the bottom. So looking at the moment, it's got a good chance to get back down to that sort of 75.50 area at this rate. Short term, there may be a bit of divergence going on. Certainly years, a slight bit of divergence going on. There is a possibility it could come up to the 76.77 area, but I still prefer the downside towards 76.08 initially down to the S1, but just got to wait until we see something shape up here. It's not particularly shaped up very well. It's not as clear. That I think the clearest of all the currencies at the moment here really is that potential move on cable, waiting for it to break this sort of wedge it's sort of sitting in. It's probably the easiest one to be looking for. Certainly with this drift, as I say, it could just continue targeting down towards the S1 area, maybe below. News-wise today, let's just check my news events. We've got the very little really. 9:30 we've got the UK GDP and current account figures coming out, and then 10 o'clock we've got the European CPI flash estimates. Now the current account and GDP UK wise don't normally create a lot of volatility, but in the current market may just do something for us. The CPI flash estimate, again, it's not necessarily a biggish mover, particularly as the ECB have already made such big changes and to the trying to get liquidity into the markets. So I can't see that really doing too much either. There's Canadian GDP at 1:30, but that comes out once a month. It's a very small mover. So very little in the way of potential news this morning or today to drive these markets. So looking just purely at the technicals. There we go. Have a great day. Bye for now.